Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. My apologies for not uploading a video for over a week. Things have been happening in the business and I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. This video is a strange one because it's not my normal style of video. This will probably be the first time you've heard me ever mention the word garage sale in a video, and that's because I don't go to them. I generally find them a gamble. I like the hunt. I like the feeling of finding a gem hidden amongst a whole bunch of crap. But I don't enjoy doing that over and over and over and over again. Maybe I'm just not a gambling type of guy. Maybe you're not going to call it gambling. I get it, right? Like, if you scale up any model, you're bound to find good things. But from my experience with the things that I like to sell, that's an important qualifier. If I pick up any and everything to sell, I will probably find more things. But I like to sell the things that I like to sell, and within those categories, toys, collectibles, I find garage sales to be a very inefficient way of finding stock. I'm better off buying a bulk lot of toys, collectibles, and taking out the good stuff, selling the rest as a bulk lot. And that also means less of a gamble. I pick up the tub comes. My only, I guess, question mark is the ratio of gold versus tin. So for that reason, I don't do garage sales, which is also another reason why this channel has no sourcing videos, because for the most part, I feel that when people do sourcing videos, it's because they have garage sales to go to. It's always this, what will I find? But this weekend, the weekend just gone by, I did see a garage sale around the corner, so it was close enough for me to bother going. And I went. I thought, you know what, if it's a nice house, there might be nice stuff. Okay, so we turn up, it's a nice house. And then I get greeted by the world's smallest, loudest doorbell. I walk around the corner and it's a double garage and a little veranda type space. Mostly household items. Couple of things that were interesting, but nothing I wanted to take back. I did find a plate and a mug for my daughter because she loves when eat the poop, and bought them. So these were 50 cents each. So that was my garage sale experience for the weekend. Did not make me want to go to another one. Then the next day, we were going to go get groceries, and I said, let's go to a shopping center where there's a Foot Locker, because I had a gift card from 2 years ago that I keep forgetting to bring with me every time I see a Foot Locker. And so we were like, let's go here. We'll go buy a pair of shoes with children. And this is what it looked like. Yeah. Still managed to get a pair though. And I got these. Nearly bought a really wanted a green pair of shoes, and my son was saying like, Dad, why didn't you buy, you know, those things like the Jordan 1 lows that were like green and black? And I said, I feel like I'm getting more boring as I get older, and so this is black with a bit of bling. I'm not sure if you can see the color changing of the swoosh, but yeah, I think my bright color wearing days are over. But I seriously considered getting a pair of leprechaun green shoes. On the way there, we stopped at the Trash and Treasure Market. Also, not something I like going to, for the same reason that it's generally a gamble, and people there don't care for their things the way I would care for my inventory. So sometimes I end up with inventory that is just trashed. It's lost a bit of margin just from the level of care that the supplier has put into it. But we go anyways because Jenny loves markets. When we get there, it's raining, and you'll see video. I've recorded video because when I got there, I was like, what are we even doing here apart from experiencing a market? And it's a rainy day. If I'm gonna go to this, I'm gonna make something of it, and therefore I'm gonna record video. So I recorded video solely for the purpose of proving the point that this would be a shit experience from a sourcing point of view. That's why I recorded it. And the title says I was wrong, because as we go through, I'm going, yep, bunch of random tools, farmer here, farmer there, bunch of bonsais, bunch of succulents. And then we get to this stall, right? And it's literally set up in a puddle. Like, as we go towards the stall, I'm standing in mud. Like, the guy could have picked a better spot, but that's the spot he picked. Anyways, managed to show you this photo. That's what I found. The guy had a tub of Hot Wheels. So I started looking through them, and this exchange happened. I noticed that there were several matchboxes like these things, and the way the exchange went was there was a guy with his son, and the son was touching one of them, and they were umming and ahhing over what were $2 cars. So I say to the guy, the seller, how much for the lot? And he goes, and at that point, this guy with his son, they're like, excuse me, we were here first. I'll talk about that in a second. I look at him, I look at the seller, and I go, $1.50 for all of them, I'll take them all. How many are there? And he starts counting. He goes, well, there's about 48, so... And then guy with the son goes, hey, we're here first. Starts looking at the seller like, come on, we're going to buy one. And then the seller says, all right, fine, $1.50 each, right? What's that work up to? So I said, 72, I think. And at that point, the dad looks at the seller and says, so it's $1.50 each now? So if I take one box, so there were 4 boxes. So what if I take one box? So that's $1.50 times 12. And the seller says, I'm only doing $1.50 because this guy here is taking all of them. At that point, I just go, here's 75 bucks, I'll take them all. So he gets the money, and the dad looks at me, kind of pissed off, starts to walk away. His son's still there holding the toy car at the end. He says to his son, just leave it, it's already been sold. Huh? The boy literally had no idea what just happened. And that's another reason why I don't enjoy going to flea markets. Not because I don't know how to do them. It's because you have to do stuff like that to get somewhere. Those things don't get covered in videos. And this is me being completely transparent. I can be an absolute dog if I want to be to get a deal. But if there is a way for me to get inventory without doing that, then I will choose that route. Because it's not nice not being nice. And I get that at flea markets, not nice happens. Garage sales, not nice does happen. I don't enjoy it. As you can tell from the way that I'm narrating this to you, I'm not proud of how I got these cars. Also, being Asian, and no racist comments from this, but those of you guys who have been to Asian countries, if you go to the night markets, this is very common. It's like it's expected. You go there, they might say, $5 a DVD, but if you buy 2, it's $9. And then eventually, someone like me will come along, which is most people at the market, and they'll say, what about 3? What about 4? What about 5? And the whole idea is you're throwing numbers around, hoping to get the per unit cost from 5 to 450 to 3, 6, to a point where dividing the number is so hard that the person just says, fine, we'll do that deal. And at that point, I will say, since I'm taking so many, can you throw 2 more in for free? And at that point, the seller's just like, you've wasted my time. I'm just gonna, fine, take it and go. Don't come back again. But that's how it happens at these places. And I found that doing that in Australia isn't, firstly, people don't expect it. When it happens, they don't like it. But at the same time, the seller is like, yeah, I'm making a sale. I'm moving more stuff. So whatever, right? So in short, the reason why we don't do garage sales as a business or flea markets is because we generally feel rubbish afterwards. Fine, we get a deal here and there. Occasionally, we're surprised with stuff. But for the most part, it's not, I don't enjoy it. I really don't. I filled up a whole double garage worth of stock, never having gone to one of these things. So for those of you guys who watch sourcing videos and go, that looks kind of fun, I want to go take part in that game, recognize there's an aggression that needs to be there. You can't, the nice person doesn't get that far ahead in flea markets. That's one thought. While I was there, picked up these Star Wars Hot Wheels cars. I find that whenever anyone makes a popular thing small, they're worth something. So these were, I think, $5 for the pair. And then that Brad set was like $5 for a pair. They normally go for about 20, 30 bucks. So that was under the table. This was on top of the table. I guess that's a good thing about going to flea markets. People don't know what things are worth. They just expect to sell everything at a price that they have in their head. And so things are not displayed the way, I guess, an eBay seller would display or photograph something to highlight, this is the good stuff, this is the not so desirable stuff. You know, you have a bulk lot, the good stuff's at the front, the bad stuff's at the back. So in that sense, you do, I guess, get a steal if you go to a flea market. But yeah, even with the cars, the pricing was all over the place. Like Matchbox cars were $1 something, but for Hot Wheels cars, you only wanted like, I think 3, so it's a bit more expensive. But then for like the 10 packs, he wanted only $6, so it's like $5 each. Like fine. So for the most part, I'll probably make, I think I spent like $140 in cars, and I think I'll make about 300 on top of the 140 that I spent. So that's gonna go into the car shop. But yeah, I intended to make a video showing why it was not gonna be worthwhile going to a flea market. I ended up getting stock, and was also reminded why I don't go to flea markets. Yeah. So why, that's the story, that's the show and tell. The update. So because sales have slowed down a little bit, I've had to cut my helpers hours down from, it was sitting at about 4 or 5 days to what is 1 to 2 days. So that's led to me needing to pack more, which means less time to actually record and edit video. So what you'll find is it's not going to be one video every other day now. It's probably going to be 1 or 2 videos a week, if I can manage that. That's not to say that YouTube isn't an important thing that I'm thinking about. It's on the forefront of my mind. That doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about you. That's what I want to say. Every day I'm on socials, I'm learning, I'm replying, I am mulling over things that you guys find frustrating, irritating, confusing, and pondering how to reword it, restructure it so that I can present it to you guys in a way that actually is useful, that you guys can run with it. So there are, I guess what that will mean is that there will always be a video, there will always be video content. But yeah, just the regularity is going to go down just because I'm working more in the business rather than on it. The last couple of weeks when I've actually been doing more days in the business, I've noticed that my garage is very much hacked together. And by that I mean, when I started, you know, I grabbed one shelf, then another shelf, then another shelf, another shelf. Like, this wasn't interior designed, so to speak. It wasn't like we measured out the space and worked how many shelves we could fit in and then designed it for the space. Everything here was just put in here to as we grew. So now that I've more or less maximized the space, I need to re-maximize the space. And I'm hoping that I can document that process for you guys. What will be some shelf moving, some tub swapping, some floor plan drawing, just to better think about the flow, less walking, less heavy lifting, faster picking and packing, all of that. So that's coming up. And yeah, hoping that you guys will find that helpful as well, because I know a lot of us, when we start out reselling, we just pick the empty space in our house, fill it up to the brim, and then go, what now? So yeah, this whole space is gonna get a bit of a reset. Until next video, thanks for watching, thanks for being patient with me. I hope you stick around, and if you haven't checked out some of the more, I don't want to call them popular videos, although they are the popular videos. The ones on how many items you should list, the ones on how to go about choosing what you list, those ones seem to be the videos that get the best feedback, because apparently they were really helpful. So if you haven't watched them, go check them out. Until next video, take care, and I'll see you next one. Bye.